Well, good morning for all you who are here live. And if you're watching this as a video, well, good afternoon or good evening. Welcome to the Medium channel. Welcome to Tarot Time. Welcome to another Sunday morning. And I hope everybody's doing well. So, what we're going to be doing is talking about what's going on in the world and our lives. We're going to do a meditation card with the tarot. We're going to do tarot spreads. I've got other divination decks, and the information that comes through, maybe you may be able to understand or take it more on a local level, like how it resonates with you personally, or on a community level, or on a global level. So I give the live people just a minute or two to get their notifications, and we're going to dive in. So let me grab some water and say a few quick hellos. And who's here? See. Oh, here we go. I said, I know I have glass. Oh, I can see. Hi, Linda. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Pug Life, and Colleen, and Claire, and Roseanne, and Chris, and Jody, and Carissa. Welcome. MT, Angela, Lisa. Thanks, everybody, for being here on a Monday. Hi, Michael. Hi, Noreen. Thank God, guys, for being here on a. Did I say a Monday? No, today's Sunday, right? Yeah, last I checked, it's Sunday. Okay, well, let me explain. Hi, Joe, and hi, Patricia. And if anybody's new, and you want to say hi, please. We love to know who you are. Where in this big wide world you're viewing us from, and thanks for being part of this community. So let's see. I haven't really slept for the last 2 nights. I don't know if you guys have been feeling a lot of energy also. And then last night yesterday afternoon and night, I traveled. I did a bunch of readings, a lot of mediumship. And I know whenever I do that, when I combine travel with work, I don't sleep that night. So I kind of plan that now. I'm just, I'm leaning over because I'm peeking at your comments as I'm talking. So, good day to be alive. Yes. Oh gosh. This is, you guys are commenting too fast for me. You're too fast. Hello, Jenny Stansfield. Welcome. Hi, Linda from Boise, Idaho. Welcome. Here in the Phoenicia, New York area is where I am. Okay. All right. So, what's on the agenda? Firstly, it's the Pisces New Moon, 1 degree of Pisces. That's tonight. If you're on the West Coast, it is this date, the 19th, or in the Pacific, in Hawaii, or anywhere in the Pacific east of the international date line. It's, God, excuse me, my brain's still locking in this morning. It's on the 19th, and everywhere else is on the 20th. So here on the East Coast, it's around 2:00 something in the morning. It's the actual new moon, and it's at 1 degree of Pisces. So my question for the new moon question in Pisces is, can you be grateful for a future that has not yet manifest? Yes, I've been watching a little bit of Joe Dispenza, I admit it. But that's a great question for the Pisces new moon, because Pisces is about the subconscious, and what we hold in our minds and our thoughts become our habits, and then become our programs. And most of it's subconscious, 95% subconscious. But the new moon's at 1 degree, which is solar ruled. So it gives us that cosmic opportunity to shine the light of the sun deep into the subconscious and start to expose those shadows. And once they get exposed, then you start to reclaim your power. So there really is a lot of power in cultivating the ability to be grateful for something that you desire but hasn't physically manifested in your life. And if you can really hold that and feel like it's happening, the subconscious mind, and in tandem with the body, doesn't recognize an imagined experience from a real experience. And the subconscious, a main part of its job is to keep us alive. So it's part of our survival. And then the subconscious believes it needs that regularity to survive, and works with you to create that reality for you. So as long as we have subconscious programs negative programming, false beliefs that we're not conscious of. Our subconscious mind believes we need that reality to basically survive. So it keeps recreating the same patterns over and over again. So the idea is to be aware. Now, I did a whole live stream last week on 5 things that we need to know about this new moon, this powerful supermoon actually in Pisces. And I'll link it to the comments when this becomes a video if you guys haven't seen that yet. And it's a complete with exercises. Oh, you know what? The other thing I wanted to mention is that we do a meditation card, as you guys know that do this every week with me. We always pull a meditation card for the week. Now on Spirit Mind Family, that's my Patreon group, and I've been very remiss about not marketing myself properly because it's divination month, this tarot and divination month, and this is the 3rd Sunday, and I've yet to mention Spirit Mind Family and the fact that it's tarot and divination month, and the meditation for the month. Now, on it's Patreon, so it's crowdfunding. So there's a $5 monthly donation to be part of the group, but it's our inner core community, and we did our monthly meditation that's only available there on how to meditate with tarot cards. So you can actually, if you want to do the meditation with the card, and we're going to pull that in just a second. So if you want to do that and want a guided meditation to work with to enhance that experience, that's on Spirit Mind Family. It's on Patreon. I'm going to leave a link for that also in the pinned comment when this becomes a video. So there, I said it. And I'll probably try to remind myself to say that at the end. So before I even do that, I decided to pull the moon card because this is the major arcana card that links in with the sign Pisces. So there's a lot of symbolism with we're in Pisces season now. What makes this interesting is that Saturn's also shifting into Pisces and Saturn stays in the sign about 2.5 years. So it's been in Aquarius. It's going to go into Pisces. Honestly, I should have checked my ephemeris, but I didn't. It's very conceivable that when Saturn goes retrograde, it may back into Aquarius again before going back into Pisces. But anyway, that enhances this Pisces season. The Saturn's our lessons, our learning, our growth, and our manifestation. So the moon card, the moon's kind of illuminating the path, right? It illuminates the darkness. And there's a trail, and whenever there's pillars, that's also the number 11. And 11 can be a gateway or a doorway to the spiritual realms. So you see like the pillars in the path, and there's I don't know what that is, a dog, I think. Anyways, so that's the card for that. And not all in chat. I'm sorry. Not end it all in chat. All right. Okay. I don't know. Hopefully you guys are hearing me, right? That's not what you're saying. Saying lots of love and hugs. All right. Oh, wait. Here we go. Oh, we got a lot of messages. There's something kind of funny going on with mine. Oh, it's 11:11 when I was talking about the number 11. Well, there's some synchronicity for you. Yes. Very good. So let's do a meditation card for the week. One of the things also about Pisces energy, it tends to be it's subconscious. So it tends to be the hidden and the secretive. And and I've been saying for a while, but I really feel like this month and March and probably, on and on, there's going to be a lot of secrets revealed. And every morning in my news feed, I see something about lights in the sky or UFOs or spy balloons being shot down. All this was forecasts in the 2023 yearly forecast, as well as other things. And a lot's coming to the surface. And I'm not going to go too deep into things. I mean, we can all check in on the news and check in. And, if you check in on the news, be in your heart. Remember, hearts cannot be programmed. Only minds can, because the media tries to program us like everything else in society. Everybody get in line. I think you have a Talking Head song now. Everybody get in line. Yeah, and Kylie's saying you can really feel the energies ramping up, and Kaylee's saying that, and Colleen's saying she's an 11 life path. So am I. I'm a 3811 life path number in numerology. So that's me also. So anyhow, meditation card really, and there's other goodies coming up in the news, but the main thing is things getting exposed, things that, and not just currently, but things that happen, like say around like the JFK assassination and things in history, the Nixon era and the cover-ups that are much deeper than Watergate, and that all ties into what's going on today. It's the same group of people, but a different era, basically. So we're going to really see these connections through time and history, and how it's really the same. Just yesterday, in one of my readings, you're talking about Woodstock. I think I was talking about the Grateful Dead, or no, it was the Jefferson Airplane. One of the bands that was in Woodstock, and how it was peaceful, it was successful. So a few months later, in Altamont Speedway, they apparently the government had hired people from the Hells Angels to stir up some trouble, and then all along the media you'd be seeing, see the hippies, they're violent, look, they're doing this, and whatever. But meanwhile, it's all gaslighting. So things haven't changed a lot. You can even look back at in Roman times, in the Caesar era, and pretty much see the essence of what was going on. It's the same. It's just a different time, a different era, different technology, basically. And the biggest question when we see change. And that's a good point, Michael. The biggest question is when we see change, things cannot keep going on the way they have been going. And the reason, there's a lot of reasons that's an excellent point. But tying back to what I was saying in the beginning, how the subconscious mind seeks to survive. This is why people generally don't like change, because there's a resistance, because the subconscious feels threatened. So let me get back to this well, we can do that comment also. Let me have this one. The biggest question is, right. So that's why people ignore when there's change in the air. They try to ignore it because it's the subconscious mind. So we need to learn to be conscious. The idea is we don't need a part of a subconscious mind to be the storehouse of unwanted memories, of suppressed traumas, of programming, because just because we're not aware of it doesn't mean the energy goes away. It goes within and vibrates from deep within, and whatever frequency we hold, that's what we create in our lives. So until you become conscious, you're just really a set of subconscious patterns, subconscious behaviors. Emotions dictate behaviors. The way that we're programmed hijacks the emotions, that elicits predictable responses to predictable stimulus in the society from other people or situations. So we have to learn to override that tendency. And that's one of the things we teach a lot around here. So you're in a good place. I'm not the only one, obviously, but you're in a good place. All right. Another of these I was saying, it's frustrating. I use time to work on myself. People get very frustrated working on themselves because, again, you're working against a whole lifetime and many lifetimes of programming. You've got to be patient. I often reference the fact that I healed from lifelong severe, beyond severe chronic eczema. That actually had a different name. One of my dermatologists explained it and basically said that in my 60s I began suffering from organ failure, and not to go into these details because I'm fine now. I didn't follow that path, but there's a point for me saying that. What was the point? Let me get back to the. Oh, it's I think it was this comment. Oh, okay. Yeah. The point being is that I use mind over matter, combined with diet, again, applying these principles. This is even before I knew about Joe Dispenza, but there were other teachers saying the same thing through all eternity, basically. But in my mind, the reality of perfect skin, no steroids, no medication, living a normal life. And I was almost 60 years old at the time, mind you. It took me 3 years it took 3 years, but I'm free. I've been needing medications for that for 5 years now. It never came back. And my skin is great. I love my skin. All right. I'm sorry. I'm not in the case. See, I can't really comment on everything because you guys are bringing up some great points. We'll be here all day, and we all have other things to do today. But by the way, welcome, Janice. I didn't mean to ignore you. Also, and but good points. And yeah, the change has to start within, and I mean, a lot of people will debate that and say, well, we need action. Without action, nothing's going to change. And that's absolutely true. But the change still has to start from within. Otherwise, we may not know what action to take. And a lot of people take action based upon the way that they're programmed, and it becomes reactionary. And the wrong types of action with the wrong types of emotion are just going to feed the beast, so to speak. So you got to get out of anger and frustration. And what does that mean? Getting out of victim mode and victim mentality. It's like, the deep state, the government, they're not doing anything to me. This is what I'm creating in this incarnation to best suit my learning and my growth in this incarnation. So it's not separate from me. So as I start to change from within, it starts to change the parameters outside of myself. Now, granted, I'm one person in 7 billion on the planet, so we need everybody to do this. But depending on who you listen to, we only need either 1 to 3% of the people to awaken, to start a cascading mass awakening in collective consciousness. This is in line with the 100th monkey experiment that a lot of you know what that is. For those that you don't, it's basically they taught a bunch of monkeys how to I think open coconuts in a more efficient manner, and they found monkeys at the other side of the island, and then the neighboring islands were doing the same thing, but they were never directly taught this technique. Only one group of monkeys were, but the collective monkey consciousness picked up on it, and then they were all doing it. They were eating their coconuts. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Anyways, I digress. But it's a Sunday morning. I hope you guys forgive me for that. You see, oh no, but I didn't get a whole bunch of people logging off. I think we're good. So let me do our meditation card for the week. And again, on Spirit Mind Family, on Patreon, there is a meditation that you can use for your weekly meditation cards now, but I'll still describe how to do it. For those that are new. For those that are new, you know how to do this already. So here's the card that they picked. Interesting. And we haven't gotten a minor arcana card for a good month. We usually get major arcanas for this. But the Five of Pentacles, it's interesting because, the dark cards, they're not negative. I mean, you look at the darkness, you look at the bandages over the head, that's psychic wounding, that's subconscious wounding that represent the figures are out in the cold, but they're not looking at the warmth, this yellow, this is like a church or cathedral. They're just looking at the darkness, basically. They're just they're not looking at anyway. So anyhow, so perfect for the Pisces new moon, because this is our time to look within the subconscious. Now, disclaimers or / warning with that. It ain't easy, because sometimes we have to face pain and discomfort, or all the time, to varying degrees. So we have to learn how to change our relationship with pain. Pain's not a negative thing. Pain is basically our one of our warning signal, right? That something's wrong, something's out of balance. If everything's in balance and flowing the way that it should be, there's no pain. But if there is pain, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual or otherwise, it just shows something's out of balance. Something's not working right. So we have to change our relationship with it. The pain's not a bad thing. It can be a very interactive tool in our growth. And the way that we are as human beings, that we tend to be at our best when things are at their worst. So So challenge is the mother of change and growth, basically. And that's how this matrix is set up, whether you believe in the matrix theory, or if you're more old school spirituality, which I tend to lean toward, but I am very new age also. So I kind of swing both ways, AC/DC in the spiritual spectrum here. Um, but in any event, they would call physical reality Maya, or illusion. So whether you believe that this is some kind of a spiritual matrix, that's our classroom, or learning and growth, or if we're literally living in a computer civilization and we're really part of a more advanced society, it really amounts to the same thing. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. It's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be comfortable. So meditating with this card may take you to sources of discomforts in your life that have manifested in things like anxiety and depression, or lost opportunity, or self-sabotage, or poor relationships, or no ability to communicate with your loved one, or whatever it is. So this will give you that. But it's 1 degree Pisces new moon. This new moon, all new moons set the template for the entire lunar cycle. 1 degree is the sun. So when you go into this card, go in with it with the intention to shine the light of awareness, so that you can open up, so you can clear what's ever obstructing your path right now, so you can illuminate this path, and then you can move forward, and you can take off this bandage. You don't need the psychic wounds anymore. This is how you heal from them, basically. So how to meditate with the card? Well, use the meditation on Patreon. No, just kidding. Well, you can use that, but all you need to do is get relaxed, get present. Like any other meditation, be in your breath, be in your heart, always be in your heart. Hearts cannot be programmed. The heart is the generator. The brain is the transmitter receiver, but the heart's more powerful. So when we're in our heart, we can't be programmed. We can only know love. We can only know emotions like joy and enthusiasm, which is Greek for and theos. That's where enthusiasm comes from. And theos, that's the Greek for in God, or inspired, right? In spirit, inspired. So we really can only be in those emotions when we're in the heart. And the more we can be in the heart, the less susceptible we are to programming. So that, anyway, that's oversimplification, but it's good. Yes. Oh, thank you. We're going to just so the world knows this is a good thing. Oh, and your midheaven's in Pisces. So if you're around 1 degree Pisces, that would be really, really significant for this lunar cycle. But that's more, well, not generational, but that really depends more on like the year you're born, or the time of year. All right, so that's the meditation card. I mean, these may be spirit guides that you meet when you get present and you step into the card. Just gauge how you feel. So you're very present, you're very open, your heart's open, you're shining light into the darkness. You step in from your physical reality into the reality of this card here. And when you step in, then you can see the whole panoramic view. But the first thing is, what do you feel? How do your emotions change when you're in that card? Maybe you feel something in your body, even though you're not really in your body. You're meditating, or you're getting colors or scents, or you're hearing things like musical notes or tones. But that's how these are ways of attuning to the energies. And then, what are you seeing? What are you sensing? What's coming to your mind? What messages are coming? And just try to stay present and open with that. And I'll do that every day this week. And then next Sunday, we'll pick a new meditation card for the following week. I want to say, somebody asked me about Phoenicia. Any info? I mean, Phoenicia is a very small hamlet. Basically, not a lot happens in Phoenicia, but it's beautiful here. I mean, a lot of people are calling it Woodstock West now. So there's a lot of little boutiques. I mean, I'm not in the center of town, but I'm close. So let's do a 3 card spread. I know it's already late. It's almost 11:30 already. So this is we'll pick up on maybe things that are going on locally or globally, or things of that nature. Locally meaning in your own life. All right, so I'm what I need to do, just kind of clear my mind and get out of my thoughts and just let spirit guide me to the right cards. So this one. Again, my fingers are just too freaking dry to pick cards. There's something about Sunday morning dry hands. I don't know what that's about. All right. Anyhow, I'm sure you all have your own problems to deal with it. Interesting. We have some repeats, don't we, here? Chariot moves, right? So we have the Chariot card, we have the Five of Pentacles, the meditation card. Can we have reverse? So it's saying, if you do this meditation, you do your subconscious shadow work, and it takes a lot of courage. So if you find the courage to go within, to shine that light, maybe to uncover some ugly truths, who knows? It's reverse. You're going to come out of that situation. And the moon, again, that's the subconscious. That's the sign Pisces that we're coming into. And again, these dark cards, they're not negative, but they're helping you to see through that. Now, on a global level, you can expect things like more fear-based news around money, financial stuff, markets crashing, volatility. Some reason they're popping Russia in my mind, probably because they'll use the war as an excuse, like everything else. Or a lot of funding for weapons for that war. As we made mention when it began, it began longer than a year ago, even though that's when it officially began. But these companies like Lockheed Martin were commissioned for basically for a long war, and somehow they knew it was going to be a long war. How do they know? Maybe that's for greater minds than mine to contemplate. But in any event, so never be fear-based about money. Again, what we hold as intention, and even if it's subconscious intention, and this is what I'm breaking through now, a whole lifetime of lack, poverty mentality, from well-meaning parents and well-meaning society. But once we are able to clear that and just really know, again, you can talk about this almost like as Neville Goddard's law of assumption. If you really assume on all levels that you already have the money, you start to become magnetic to it. So this is about clearing all that lack mentality and clearing all the fear-based mentality. So I think this week is going to be very key for a lot of us. I think a lot of us are going to shift and turn some kind of corner in terms of our subconscious work. And a lot of us are probably going to have some dream things come up. You may go through a lot of moodiness, a lot of strong emotions. Warning here that you may go through some depressions or anxieties. They may get more pronounced in this energy. This Chariot card, though, likes to move. So saying, well, take your walks or do do yoga or qigong or things like that, breathing exercises. Starting is always the hardest part. There's inertia. When we're depressed, when we just don't feel like doing anything, we just want to lie around. So we have to learn how to override the body, because emotions become hormones in the body. And we have to remind ourselves that I'm the mind, I'm spirit, I'm great mind. I'm not my brain, I'm the mind. And therefore, I'm going to tell my body what to do. Even if my body's tired, I'm going to do it anyways. And then once you break through that inertia, then it starts to flow. So again, remember, the subconscious always gravitates towards the familiar because that's what it believes it needs to survive. So if you've been having chronic depression, anxiety, or things like that, your subconscious believes that you need that, and it becomes very hard to change that. So you really have to apply your will. Too bad the strength card didn't come up. Well, we can imagine the strength card came up because that's the card of will, amongst other things. I feel like they're saying also let go of some ideas and maybe let go of some people. Um, I feel like in matters of the hard matters of relationship, there's some people that are just having to just sort of let go of something, or feeling rejected. Somebody's maybe more than one person. Well, there's 56 on live, so I think it's more than one person, but somebody here's feeling rejected, and you just have to let that go, because understand that it's not you, it's the other person. They're not ready for you, or it's not that they're not ready for you, they're not ready for the experience of owning that they have an attraction to you. I don't know who this is for, but I feel like somebody's saying maybe it's even for me, but I don't know who that would be. But anyways, whatever the case, it's for a lot of us. That's what they're saying. Not just you, not just me, but all of us in some degree, or not. Well, not all of us. So so there's a lot of this kind of feeling of like letting it go, and everything. Doing a little bit of inner journeying also would be good. The kind of spirits sort of throwing me, like showing me throwing in the like the white towel or the flag, not giving up, surrender. There's a big difference. You're surrendering to the higher forces, surrendering to whatever you're feeling at this moment rather than trying to fight it. Again, we have to allow ourselves to feel, and that's amazing. That this is the Pisces new moon. This is about our feelings, about our emotions, but understand that part of our programming and conditioning wipes the ability to feel right out of us. And a lot of people would debate this, say I feel things, I feel happy, I feel sad, but when you go out into nature, do you feel the ley lines? Do you feel the energies of the trees? Do you feel spirit? Do you feel the animals' calls? Do you feel the birds? If you don't, you lost the ability to feel. And I was very fortunate. I had an awakening when I was quite young. And then I studied with a Native American teacher for a while, and also my martial arts teacher. There's part Native American. Um, and I learned about these things. I learned how to open up my ability to feel energy, to feel spirit, to feel each other, to feel other people and stuff like that. And by doing that, to really feel my emotions, not suppressing my emotions because they're uncomfortable, but allowing myself to feel things that are uncomfortable. This is what we need to do. Have courage, people. That's the message here for us as a group and a collective. We as a community are awakened. We're awakening, but there's different levels of awakening, and there's a big threshold. There's like a big mountain, one step at a time, up that mountain. And once you get to the top, then once you begin to really open your heart, open your spirit, open your soul, and really start to be able to feel energy, everything changes. And then you realize that everything in your world you created on some level, collectively, yes, because we're part of collective consciousness, but also individually. So that's the message. I'm going to move on to other things. I have something here from Kyle Gray. Thank you, Doreen, by the way, for this. I think it was a Christmas gift. So where's the box? Because I like to. So here's the box of these cards, and maybe I should actually hold it long enough so you could see it. That might help, right? um, and here we go. Angels and Ancestors Oracle card by Kyle Gray. Uh, by the way, I'm just thinking, because Kyle Gray is another one of these very young, amazing people. And I believe Christina Day is on. She was our last guest here on the Medium channel. And yeah, thank you for connecting with us. So you can check out her interview was great, but her transmission was just like literally out of this world. I highly recommend that. And then on the 28th, we have Glenn Kidd, who's a medium, a very talented medium, but also a very talented musician. So I'm really looking forward to interviewing him on the channel. And that's going to be the evening, Tuesday, the 28th, a week from Tuesday. We're going to have him on. We've got a couple other star seeds lined up after him and one other person. All right. Anyway, I'm going to pull this card. So here's what we have, and we're going to do our animal card next. Spirit just changed the order on me. And the message here is animal guardian. Trust your instincts. Again, we have to learn how to feel, and then we start to feel more of our instinctual messages that come up. And part of divination or divination, using divination tools, is how does the card make you feel? What do you see in the picture, not just the words? So met Kyle in Glastonbury. Yeah, that's the impression I get from him, that he's really lovely also. um he just has a beautiful energy when I see him speak. I mean, sometimes you see somebody, you would like them, basically. Oh, so I was talking about that. We had Christina Day, then we had two. She's like the third in a row, or a very young but very awakened people that we've had on the channel. Yeah, Vertigo. Might as well give them all shout outs, right? Vertigo from Psychedelic Actualization was just unbelievably amazing, even though I was having a lot of technical difficulties, and as an interviewer left a little to be desired, but he was amazing, and stole the show. And then Lily Nova in December was equally as amazing. Her channel's Lily Nova Starseed. I believe she does a transmission today at 3 o'clock, a singing bowls transmission. So you can check that out on her channel also. All right, so let's go on to the next one. So around the subject of shout outs for detailed astrology for the week. Check out Integral Astrology with Armand Diaz. Okie doke. Animal card. I've got. I'm taking a break from the medicine cards and going with this deck here. Steve Harber's messages. I love the medicine cards. They really speak to me. But I switch back and forth because in this deck we have animals from all over the world, not just North American animals being represented. Obviously, the Native American card is for Native Americans. It's going to be native animals, right? Well, or imported animals, like horses are native to the Americas. That's beside the point. I have Mercury and Virgo. I do get a little too analytical and technical sometimes. So, in order to pick the right card, what does Adam say all the time? When you're thinking, you're not connecting. And when you're connecting, you're not thinking. So let me stop thinking so I may connect. And seagulls. Is that Jonathan Livingston, or is that just a seagull? Humor is a great medicine, by the way. Now is the time for deep emotional healing. I sense a theme here. And no, I did not pick these cards out ahead of time for whoever thought that. I'm just kidding. Nope, Spirit picked these out. Now is the time for deep emotional healing. And the good news is, if you jumped on this a little bit late this morning, the good news is I explained how to do that before. I'm just flashing a few of your comments. Hey, thank you, Lakeside Laura, also for being here. All right, next on the agenda, I've got a few choices. So we did these guys. I have my sacred geometry cards, and we got communication. That's a good way to heal, right? Oh, I'm sorry. So with the sacred geometry cards, you can just kind of take a moment just to sort of gaze, right in the center of it, and just feel, feel the card, feel the energy, the image on the card. And what it says is, the frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. Reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. And we're always communicating. We may as well make it conscious communication, because when we don't speak up, when we don't communicate consciously, we run the risk of holding on to resentment and then communicating in a passive aggressive way or in an inappropriate way. Communicate. That's always been a hard thing for me based on my shadow aspects, the way that I was raised, and so forth and so on. So it's taken me a long time, but I'm learning. Again, it's feelings, it's emotions. Sometimes we have to learn to be okay with uncomfortable emotions, fear, nervousness, anxiety. These are powerful emotions. They're hard to break through. And for years, decades in my life, it would stop me dead in my tracks. And then when I finally would speak up, I'd be like, oh, one of those numbers. So, but you can will yourself to your blue in the face to change your response. It ain't going to make a difference until you go inside, change the programming that's responsible for the responses in the first place. Then they start to change on their own over time. Beautiful, isn't it? Let's see what the Native American cards have to tell us. No. Yes, found my card. We've gotten sandpaper. 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 When you etch things in sand, the wind can blow it away, right? It can smooth that out, or it can be integrated into the elements that way when you paint into sand. This also looks like the eight of pentacles, translated into the regular tarot. Now these are medicine shields, so there's eight medicine shields. Eight is Saturn ruled, so it's about learning lessons and growth. Also about money, a law, so universal law. And so you paint in the sand, think of the metaphor, it's going to stay there until the water washes it away, washes it back to water, washes it back to source, or the wind blows it away, or whatever. So that's doing painting in the sand can be a very powerful manifestation tool as well. So one last thing, or maybe not if I don't have my angel cards. All right, I think that's it for today. Yeah. I say, if a certain deck did not make it into this room, that's a spirit's way of saying maybe to take a break on that deck, on that form of divination. But I think we've got the mess. I think we've got the idea for the week. So it's very important, again, to sum up, just kind of stay in your heart. Be okay to go within, always work with the heart center. We teach heart-brain coherence here. It's a modern, scientifically guided process. I don't know if we can say it's proven yet, though there's a lot of empirical data that shows its effectiveness. So it's a scientifically guided exercise that's based on the ancient wisdom traditions, everything from Taoism to Christianity, basically, draws its roots from that. So the idea when we're in the heart and we can hold magnified gratitude, appreciation, and love, we generate. It's the generator, and then the brain locks in and becomes coherent. And once they come into sync, we start to be able to use that part of the brain that we don't use, and we start to awaken dormant DNA. And over time, it changes your frequency. And when you change your frequency, you change your thought and emotional patterns, and then you change your physiology also. And you can heal disease, and you can even reverse the aging process. And this has been scientifically validated by examining the telomeres of the chromosomes. The people that did this practice had a slower decay of the telomeres of the chromosomes when the cells divided. And basically, that's old age. When the telomeres are gone, we die, basically. They're the protective coatings of the chromosomes, for those that don't know that. Okie dokie. I think that we're good. Again, we have the Spirit Mind Family. That's our Patreon community. It's $5 a month donation to join. We do the deeper channeling work, the light language, the toning with the master teachers there. We do it on YouTube also, but we go a step deeper on the there, and then we have the meditation to work with the tarot card that we picked this week. So it's divination month, it's tarot and divination month. So we have a live video that hasn't come out yet. Well, we do a live video on the last Monday in the month, and the fourth Monday, uncensored quest Q&A. We have a different theme of the month. Next following month's going to be third eye or brow chakra month. So we're going to do a lot of third eye stuff in March. And then what else? We have basically things that aren't available anywhere else. But the main thing that's pertinent to this group is it's tarot month, and we had that meditation. Okie doke. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. Tomorrow, Monday, 7 p.m., we're going to do the live activation for the new moon. So we're going to do some, working with the master teacher. It's frequency channeling. For those that don't know, this is a group. They've been called the Council of Light also. They're basically part of collective consciousness, interdimensional beings that work with the different star beings as well as humans now, because we're on the threshold of awakening to a new level and a new society. So they're working with a lot of channels, including myself, but they're not physical. They're energy. So they work with the channel, work with my energy fields as I lead the meditation. They actually work with your frequencies, and people really feel it. People have very profound experiences. So we're going to do that tomorrow, new moon, 7 o'clock. And we'll see how that goes. So see you then. For those that join us, I love you. Thanks again for being here, and see you at the next video. Namaste.